This is the M9 wireless microphone by FiFine. I'm recording this entire review on this mic. These lav mics send wireless audio to your camera or smart device with quality, simplicity, and value. This product was sent to me free of charge. However, this is not a paid review. The link below is not an affiliate link. This is my own opinion, and no one is reviewing this before uploading. Now, with all of my review videos, I tell you what you get within a market fit. The M9 price point is about $65, which is a great value because similar products can be far more expensive. And trust me, this is a huge step up from other mics that are lower cost that are just straight up trash. With this mic, you get a straightforward product that will work great. With keeping the cost low, you don't get onboard audio, but that's okay. This is aimed at creators who want something that works and goes right to the streamer recording, so that's plenty good. Let's look at what you get with the mic. 2 lavaliers, 1 receiver, a charge case, an accessory case, 2 windscreens, a charging cable, and 3 cables for different connections. We get TRRS, and USB-C. This type of connectivity is great. We didn't always have it this easy for connection. For this video, I'm using TRS into my camera. Looking at the lavalier, we have LED indicators. We have a power on and a low power LED. On the receiver, we have an on indicator, a connector, and a level. For a battery test, I cycled these batteries about 6 times, and then I tested the lifespan of a charge. These lavs lasted 6 hours, 38 minutes, and 40 seconds, which is pretty darn good for most shooting scenarios. And then when the battery runs out, you can place them back into the case to charge, and you can also charge with the onboard USB-C port. For an audio quality test, I put this mic up against 3 other microphones in quite an unfair situation. One of the microphones is my high-end Sennheiser MKE 600. Which is a $330 microphone. The lavalier does have an onboard noise cancellation, and I turned that off for the test. To test the microphone, I did 2 recordings, 1 indoor and 1 outdoor. I went next to the 5 freeway in a harsh environment, and I tested the audio quality, and then I did it again in here, where I have sound foam on the walls. I took the test into the computer, randomized them, and then sent that to 5 friends, 3 of whom are filmmakers. This comparison test will be at the end of the video if you want to take a listen, but I don't think it's surprising that a $330 mic would outperform a $65 mic. But one of my friends, who's actually a filmmaker, actually said they preferred in the outdoor the FiFine mic over the others. Now, each of the mic recordings here is unchanged, unfiltered, and so after doing a spectral analysis, what we see here is that on the low end, we are getting a lot of activity. So with the FiFine mic going in and adding a high pass filter afterwards will do a great job of improving the quality. I am out here with the FiFine M9. Is this not the happiest little lavalier microphone you've ever seen? Wow. Okay, this is quite light. I like that. We're gonna now do a distance test. And I'm out here at a very flat, open area. It's a golf course. For this test, we're gonna use 1 lavalier, and I'm gonna walk out there 150 feet, 50 meters to see how well it does with the distance test. This is an omnidirectional lavalier. Imagine it's creating a bubble of where the sound is captured. So, optimal placement, if I do place it with the clip below my neck, it's capturing this area. Okay, here we go. And I did go on Google Maps, and I roughly measured that I'd be walking. I'm at about 150 feet right here. Okay, the audio should be really good here, should not be cutting out, because I am within the distance. I'm about 75 feet, 80 feet, and I'm back. Let's see how it did. So I needed to return outside for another test because I watched back the footage and I saw that when it meant line of sight, it meant line of sight. When I turned my back and this wasn't directly looking at the receiver, I think it cut out pretty darn fast. And I'm outside right now in the wind. So let's now see how the windscreen is gonna work. I'm placing it on. There's some wind hitting the mic a little bit. Wonder how much better it sounds. I'm at about 25 feet, and now I'm turning around so that my body is blocking the mic. Let's see if you still hear it. Okay, I'm turning now around. My body was blocking the mic at about 25 feet. I'm gonna walk out now. I'm at about 50 feet now. I'm gonna turn around. If you weren't listening to me right there, that's kind of an issue because, you know, how is my body blocking it? Because it should be a little less reliant on being so direct. I'm at about 100 feet right here. And if you're asking me, how do you know it's 100 feet? Well, I literally was a first AC pulling focus on set. So I'm pretty darn good and attuned to what distances are because it was my job at one point. So now I'm at 100 feet. I'm gonna turn around. Now that I am in line of sight at about 150 feet. So if you didn't hear me with my back turned, that's kind of interesting. In this test, I'm in a wide open field with nothing in the way of interference. So if my mic is cutting in and out because of my body, imagine being in a crowd. You're not gonna get a lot of distance in a crowd because you're gonna have bodies blocking your signal. Okay, it's kind of windy, so you are hearing wind through the wind mic. I see that the wind is picking up on the mic. So now watch this. I'm gonna take the mic screen off. That's a lot worse. Connector's kind of bizarre. I'm not a huge fan because I don't have like a lineup. Okay, I clipped it in. See, that's not the connector between the windscreen and the microphone isn't bad, but it did take me a little bit of getting used to. I'm not a huge fan. I wish it had some type of twist lock mechanism where it has like two guidelines to lock in, but I can't really see it if I'm on the outside looking at it. We are back from outside, and as you can see, I have the windscreen on because I've been editing this video and I noticed something that's been happening with the windscreen off, and it's not exactly inherently a fault of the microphone because it's very sensitive, but it's something called plosives, where a gust of air goes over the mic, okay? Plosives. It's making it have this distortion. So I'm gonna keep this on, and that's what I would suggest. But that's one thing I don't like. I wish the microphone would have came with a type of like black foam, something a little bit more formal than this wind mic, because this is kind of feels very like I'm gonna be outdoors with this. I kind of don't want to rock the wind mic at all times. Next, let's test out the noise cancellation with the microphone using this fan. I'm gonna keep the fan pointed away so the wind is not hitting it, but we're gonna hear the sound. Okay, so you're hearing the background sound now on the mic, and the button is right here. So I'm gonna hit the button now. And that light just turned on, right? Now you're listening to me with the noise cancellation on, with the fan on next to it. Okay, now I'm going to turn noise cancellation off. Noise cancellation is now off. I've listened to the playback of the noise cancellation, and I'm gonna say that I wouldn't use it because it makes your voice sound very tinny, which is like in a tin can. So I just turned on the noise cancellation, and I think you can notice that my voice is a lot thinner and tinny, which when I turn it off, it sounds far more rich and well-rounded. So if you're in a very noisy place and you really need to hear yourself and not the environment for capturing not artistic reasons, but for needing to just capture audio, then yeah, use it. However, I don't know if it's really the best version of a noise cancellation where it's taking out too much. The test I did with the fan was intense, was harsh and tough for it to do, but it just does sound way too tinny to be usable in a creative sense that, you could use it for certain applications, but yeah, this little microphone has performed well. And while other mics can do more and have better specs, you're going to look at a price point that's $200 and above. This you're looking at a fraction of that amount. I tell you to look at this mic in its price point. You're not spending $200, you're spending a fraction on that on something that just works. I would feel confident that this mic delivers audio for a majority of creators that want a plug-and-play system without a large cost commitment. And this is obviously the happiest microphone that you can find today. We have reached the end of this video. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and if you want to see the audio test, hear the audio test at the end of this video, stick around. It's going to play right now. Thanks for watching. 1 hen, 2 ducks, 3 squawking geese, 4 corpulent porpoises, 5 limerick oysters, 6 pairs of Donnell Verzo's tweezers, 7,000 Macedonians in full battle array, 8 brass monkeys from the ancient sacred crypts of Egypt, 1 hen, 2 ducks, 3 squawking geese, 4 corpulent porpoises, 5 limerick oysters, 6 pairs of Donnell Verzo's tweezers, 7,000 Macedonians in full battle array. 1 hen, 2 ducks, 3 squawking geese, 4 corpulent porpoises, 5 limerick oysters, 6 pairs of Donnell Verzo's tweezers, 7,000 Macedonians in full battle array, 8 brass monkeys from the ancient sacred crypts of Egypt. 1 hen, 2 ducks, 3 squawking geese, 4 corpulent porpoises, 5 limerick oysters, 6 pairs of Donnell Verzo's tweezers, 7,000 Macedonians in full battle array. 1 hen, 2 ducks, 3 squawking geese, 4 limerick oysters, 5 corpulent porpoises, 6 pairs of Donnell Verzo's tweezers, 7,000 Macedonians in full battle array, 8 brass monkeys from the ancient sacred crypts of Egypt. 1 hen, 2 ducks, 3 squawking geese, 4 limerick oysters, 5 corpulent porpoises, 6 pairs of Donnell Verzo's tweezers, 7,000 Macedonians in full battle array, 8 brass monkeys from the ancient sacred crypts of Egypt. 1 hen, 2 ducks, 3 squawking geese, 4 limerick oysters, 5 corpulent porpoises, 6 pairs of Donnell Verzo's tweezers, 7,000 Macedonians in full battle array, 8 brass monkeys from the ancient sacred crypts of Egypt. 1 hen, 2 ducks, 3 squawking geese, 4 limerick oysters, 5 corpulent porpoises, 6 pairs of Donnell Verzo's tweezers, 7,000 Macedonians in full battle array, 8 brass monkeys from the ancient sacred crypts of Egypt. 1 hen, 2 ducks, 3 squawking geese, 4 corpulent porpoises, 5 limerick oysters, 6 pairs of Donnell Verzo's tweezers, 7,000 Macedonians in full battle array, 8 brass monkeys from the ancient sacred crypts of Egypt. 1 hen, 2 ducks, 3 squawking geese, 4 corpulent porpoises, 5 limerick oysters, 6 pairs of Donnell Verzo's tweezers, 7,000 Macedonians in full battle array. 1 hen, 2 ducks, 3 squawking geese, 4 corpulent porpoises, 5 limerick oysters, 6 pairs of Donnell Verzo's tweezers, 7,000 Macedonians in full battle array, 8 brass monkeys from the ancient sacred crypts of Egypt. 1 hen, 2 ducks, 3 squawking geese, 4 corpulent porpoises, 5 limerick oysters, 6 pairs of Donnell Verzo's tweezers, 7,000 Macedonians in full battle array. 1 hen, 2 ducks, 3 squawking geese, 4 limerick oysters, 5 corpulent porpoises, 6 pairs of Donnell Verzo's tweezers, 7,000 Macedonians in full battle array, 8 brass monkeys from the ancient sacred crypts of Egypt. 1 hen, 2 ducks, 3 squawking geese, 4 Limerick oysters, 5 corpulent porpoises, 6 pairs of Dalna-Verzer's tweezers, 7,000 Macedonians in full battle array, 8 brass monkeys from the ancient sacred crypts of Egypt. 1 hen, 2 ducks, 3 squawking geese, 4 Limerick oysters, 5 corpulent porpoises, 6 pairs of Dalna-Verzer's tweezers, 7,000 Macedonians in full battle array, 8 brass monkeys from the ancient sacred crypts of Egypt. 1 hen, 2 ducks, 3 squawking geese, 4 Limerick oysters, 5 corpulent porpoises, 6 pairs of Dalna-Verzer's tweezers, 7,000 Macedonians in full battle array, 8 brass monkeys from the ancient sacred crypts of Egypt.